Germany's once mighty economic engine is sputtering, weighed down by bureaucratic red tape, high energy costs, and a lack of decisive leadership. The country's traditional business model, cheap Russian gas and booming exports to China, has collapsed, leaving Europe's largest economy in turmoil. With a snap election set for February 23rd, the next German government will inherit an economic disaster, a stagnation that Chancellor Olaf Scholz's administration not only failed to address, but arguably worsened. The US is profoundly reshaping Germany's economy with policies that have sparked both disruption and challenge. As the US prioritizes its transactional foreign policy and distances itself from the long-standing rules-based international order, Germany finds itself grappling with the consequences.
The key divide between Europe and the United States today is that with the change in U.S. leadership, a shift in paradigm is underway. Specifically, the United States is moving away from a values-based system focused on world order rules and norms, the rules-based international order, and toward a policy focusing on transaction.
While the US economy grew by over 11% and China saw an expansion of 26% since 2019, Germany's growth was an anemic 0.3%. And what is Scholz's response? Endless bureaucracy, pointless regulations, and a refusal to address the real problems facing the country.
The German government needs to have a major initiative on investment. We have a bad environment concerning infrastructure, innovation, education, and climate change or climate protection, and as well as security. These are the 5 areas requiring massive additional investment, which stands in contrast and conflicts with the debt brake, which does not make that possible. So they need to solve that issue.
The energy crisis is a direct result of Scholz's disjointed policies, like the rushed switch from gas heating to electric heat pumps. This move confused consumers and stifled demand for green technologies. Bureaucracy is strangling growth. Companies are wasting time on paperwork instead of innovation, and a complex regulatory maze has driven businesses to relocate abroad.
We have bright talent in Germany, we have good company space, we have especially strong family companies in Germany. But at the moment the problem is we don't have the awareness on a political level. And now instead of implementing measures, they write paper and just report. And so we are lacking the capacity to get the good things done, and instead of this we just report. And we need to get away with this. This makes no sense. And those are examples we need to really work on, and I really hope with the new government in Germany we can get this solved, because at the moment it's too much bureaucracy. Yeah.
Germany's dependence on Russian gas, once a pillar of its industrial strength, evaporated after Scholz blindly followed Washington's lead in the Ukraine conflict. The result? Skyrocketing electricity costs, now 2.5 times higher than in the US and China. Meanwhile, China, the very market that fueled Germany's export boom, is now outcompeting German automakers and machinery producers with state-backed industrial giants.
The example of the automotive sector, the shift towards electric cars, there many German companies have been too slow. They have enjoyed the success of the 2010s, and they have been too slow in understanding that they need to change and adapt.
The biggest challenge for Germany's next leaders will be dismantling Scholz's legacy of economic stagnation. Industry leaders are demanding lower energy costs, deregulation, and aggressive investment in infrastructure and education.
For the past 75 years, Germany has been built very much on consensus, stability-oriented, lots of checks and balances in the political system. And that makes rapid change very difficult. And we need to change the mindset to first understand we need to be much faster on economic transformation.
As the election draws near, prominent political opponents have intensified their criticism of Chancellor Olaf Scholz, with many making bold promises to mend the country's international relations. Figures from various parties, including Alice Weidel of the Alternative for Germany, have voiced concerns over Germany's foreign policy, particularly its strained ties with key neighbors like Hungary, Russia, and China.
We at the Alternative for Germany have noticed that the relationship towards our neighbors has deteriorated. First and foremost with Hungary, but also with our old partners, the great powers of Russia and China. My primary goal is to repair and improve these relationships. That is the reason why I have traveled to your fabulous capital of Budapest. These opponents are positioning themselves as the solution, vowing to restore and improve Germany's relationships on the global stage should they come into power.
With Scholz's government in freefall, the February 23rd election may be Germany's last chance to rescue its economy from decline. The question remains, will the next leadership act boldly, or will they continue the same failed policies that turned Europe's powerhouse into a stagnating giant?